What's up, gang? OCD Hi-Fi here. And what we're working on tonight is I'm going to see if I can make the most baddest ass music server that I can think up. I've been around them enough to know how to build them. You know, I built a handful of some very popular, top-notch, Class A rated servers in my day, and I actually learned a thing or two on how to assemble, anyways, these pieces of hardware. And so I've got some theories here, and I plan to check them out. But it's pretty evident that well, there's a couple things that have happened with insofar as the servers started out. They were all in one box, right? You know, great idea, but they were low power to keep them quiet. Eventually, you know, everybody was on board with Rune. Rune's so bloated and fat and resource hog software that quickly those quiet servers that were based on Celeron and Atom and the little processors were just they're overworked. They couldn't handle it. So the next thing people started to do was to make the renderers, right? The little micro-rendu and stuff, and those little guys that were basically, you know, work as a renderer on the other end of the Ethernet line, which basically meant you kept a server, if you will, or another computer on at all times on the network, or anytime you wanted to listen to your music. And then this little puppy would ask for music over at your desktop or whatever, and then that would send it over, and it would play it back at your system. Well, that was supposed to be a lot better because you were taking the actual playback piece of hardware out of the where the CPU, the big CPU was. Okay, actually in the early days it wasn't a big CPU, but you had to add the big CPU to handle Rune, and so people started doing that. Then they were too noisy, so you had to get it out of there, and hence the renderer. And you know, but then what happened? And trust me, I'm one of these guys too. Oh no, it's got to go through a switch and, you know, 100 feet of wire and all this stuff. And I start seeing, you know, clocks and mods for Ethernet adapters, or for Ethernet, for hubs, you know, and switches. You know, people are modding their switches and making them all, putting clocks on them and stuff. You know what? Forget it, man. Not me. I'm not going that route. What I decided to do was I'll just put the damn renderer and the server in the same box. Why not, man? I mean, then it's not going through any switches, and it's Ethernet from one to the other. So wait till you see this bad boy when this thing's done, boy. This is going to be a doozy. So anyways, I'm going to show you what I've got here, and these are some pretty cool little deals. I like the Mini ITX. It's my favorite board. It's compact. It's robust. I dig it. Okay, so here I'm going to turn around, and we can see what we got here. Okay, so here is what my normal builds they come on. Okay, it's a great commercial motherboard. The thing is robust. You leave it on all the time. It's excellent. I've got no qualms with it. Okay, that would come, you know, with something like this is what I put in the SSDs. These are like Samsung. This is an 850 or 860. 850 Evo, yeah. Okay, so then and this is just 500 gigabytes. Normally I'd put 2 terabytes, okay, onto, and look at that. I got that's from the heatsink. Anyways, okay, so I would put 2 terabyte is the usual with this, and then put it in a little box with the your USB card, and you know, hey, you got a kick-ass little server. Well, now we're graduating. And you know, since I'm gonna divvy it up, and we don't have to worry about noise, right, per se, on the heavy lifter. Okay, so I got this daddy. This is a ROG STRIX. This is an Asus. I use Asuses for my desktop. I have for many years. I love Asus. They're a very good board. Now this thing is off the chain compared to that. Okay, they're two completely different machines, although they're the same size. This puppy is ready to rock. This is made for gaming. We will use none of that crap. We don't care about gaming. I don't care about gaming. I do care about database management in a expedient manner. I want my software to run fast. I want to dominate Rune and whip it and have it be my bitch, because it's made me its bitch for so long that I want vengeance on Rune. So here is the motherboard. It is it's and I don't know, for you nerds out there, this is 1151, the new socket, the latest one. This is a 300 series board, which means this is the latest Intel i7 8th generation CPU. Okay, this thing is 6 cores instead of 4, and is much higher performance with more features than the previous generation. Okay, and you need a new motherboard for that, and blah blah blah. Comes with the chipset is the 370, the H370 chipset. And really, what I dig about this board and why what means a lot to me is that this here, okay, so the solid state drive where this will be where our OS and all our storage of our tunes are on there. Okay, well look, man, this has replaced it. This is like a stick of gum. Okay, this 2 freaking terabytes. Okay, not this one, but in the other room I got the 2 terabyte for the, actually it's right here. Okay, there it is. See, M.2, 2 terabyte, 970 Evo VNAND, okay, and it's the NVMe. I'm sorry, NVMe is the important part. The M.2 with the NVMe. That means, okay, so this thing transfers data at 6 gigabytes per second, or what? 6? Yeah. This is 32. This thing plugs right into the board. There's no wires, okay? So this thing has a bunch of cables. The cables hang off. They plug into the board. You know, more places for noise to enter. This thing just plugs right in, and it hits right onto the PCI bus, which means it's the fast lane, baby. And it's right there ready to go. So I'm really anxious to see how Rune runs on this puppy, because I'll bet you it's going to just run like blip, 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 blip. And that's going to be awesome, because I hate it when things hang up. This is where it goes right under here. That's a heat sink for the for this drive, and then 2 giant sticks of RAM. Now check this out, man. We've got DDR4 here. Not only DDR4, we've got Trident Z, G-Skill. This is top of the line RAM here, and where are we? It is I forgot what speed it is. It's like 3400. Yeah, it's 3400. So it's fast, okay? There it is, 3400. So this board supports 2666. We're going a little higher with this because honestly, that's all they had where I went to get this, and you know, I can use it in the future. You know, it's for something that will support it. It just makes it only operate at 2666 over here, but who cares? We got some killer stuff. This is 32 gigs. We're putting 32 gigs of RAM on here for the server, okay? We can't fit anymore, or I would. Maybe we can fit some in the PCI slot, and we'll put some more RAM in there and see. I don't know. I'll have to see if that's possible. But we're gonna bump this puppy to the max. We're gonna go for it. We're gonna see what happens. Okay, and then I will have. Maybe I'll use this as the renderer, you know, and we'll put them right next to each other in the box. I'll have the Ethernet go from one to the other. Bam, this one will do the heavy lifting with the big badass CPU on it and everything, and you know, fast as all get out. And then right here we'll do just the music playback. It's just going to render the music file, and just play it back. We'll have probably an audio card for that, and let's see what happens, man. You know, this is the whole kit and caboodle all together in a big hot rod package. So I'm pretty excited for this. I will let you guys know how it compares. And again, this is the motherboard I'm using, is a ROG STRIX H370 gaming, whatever. Okay. Core i7. This is their basically their top of the line. It's the 8700. The 8700K is the higher one, but that's for overclockers and you know, gamer guys that overclock their stuff. I don't really want to overclock and throttle the piss out of any of my gear, so I'll stick to non-throttling or non-overclocking. Okay, and then this is the new drives. Okay, so this replaces the solid state drives. This is a solid state drive. It's a 970 Evo NVMe, which goes right on the board and plugs right into the PCI bus. That is pretty kick-ass, man. Talk about low latency, huh? There's none there. I mean, this thing's instantaneous. This is desktop. That doesn't matter. I got kind of a similar thing for my desktop because it's time to get my desktop around, but to freshen it up. And then we've got the RAM, which we like, which was the G-Skill Trident Z. This had low latency numbers and is very highly rated. It's considered a high-end type of RAM. So anyways, that is what's going on with the OCD boy. Look at that. It's got the cool back panel and everything. It's got Wi-Fi, but I'm not going to use it. I would not put a radio anywhere near my server. So if you see Wi-Fi antennas off the back of a server, okay, you just say to yourself, oh, it's one of those guys, because it is. I won't put Wi-Fi in my damn room. There's not going to be a radio in the room. I mean, they're transmitters, man, and receivers. Forget it. It's like let's squeeze a walkie-talkie right behind my server and see what it does. Well, that's what that thing is, essentially. Okay, dual LANs, that's killer. Okay, there's a lot of nice features in here. So I'll get back with you guys and let you know how this all ends up. So thanks again, and see you guys soon. Bye.